We watched the movie last night. My kids, oh my goodness, they were so just enthralled with it, and they loved so many of the scenes and the characters, and they felt like they related to a lot of the characters. So for both Maya and Abby, I am really curious, were there any characters, like either the one you played or another one, that really struck you as, oh, that is so me, or I can relate to this so much?
Yeah, I honestly, people always, think of me as a mom first, but I was a kid for many years before that too. And I kind of feel like I relate to a lot of Katie as well as Linda for different reasons. Growing up and being artistic and creative, but also um, kind of living in your own world and feeling like you might not be like everyone else, was a very big part of my life and steered me to a place where of comedy, where I found a way to communicate with the world and find my own voice and then find my own people subsequently. And then, of course, as a mom, Linda's just unwavering love and joy of her family and the perseverance she has to make sure they see their worth and their beauty and all of those things, and to try to make those moments that they can. I relate to all of that. It's so interesting when you're a parent. People always relate to you as a parent, but you know how to be a parent, how to talk to kids because you were a kid. So there's that kind of push and pull because I'm still someone's kid.
Yeah, and me too. I really relate to Katie in so many ways. A lot of the same reasons that Maya said for herself, but also just that sort of drive to make things and to tell stories and to sort of like look for every outlet to express yourself. I didn't grow up with quite as much technology, but I was always drawing and like sort of in a sketchbook and very much living in my head and creating other worlds because yeah, I kind of didn't always feel like I fit in, and it took me a while to find my people too. And then on the flip side, I am not a parent, definitely not a dad, but there was a part of Rick's mentality that I really related to as well, because the way how quick technology is changing, I can't keep up, like I don't know I'm not on like TikTok, I'm not on all these apps that the kids are up to, that I often don't know the latest thing, and sort of feeling a lot of what he's feeling, like, can't we just like do this thing? So I feel, yeah, I love every character in this movie. I think they're all so relatable in a lot of different ways.
Dynamic with the father-daughter in this movie. How did you make sure that the mother didn't lose focus in the story as well?
Well, I think it's difficult for the mother to lose focus in this story because she really acts as the glue for the family, and she's sort of this love salve for the whole family. I think she wants everyone to be truly happy as who they are, but she also wants them to connect to each other. And she knows how difficult that is. So, Linda's happy if everyone else is happy. But there's a lot of dysfunction going on, and she inserts herself whenever she needs to because family is the most important thing to her. So I think without that heart of the story, Linda really provides that heart, and I think without that in the story, it's hard for these characters to look at each other. So she's really essential, I think, in that.
Maya, and I think Abby too. I was watching the movie last night, and I always watch through the credits. The credits were actually really fun, but then there was like a surprise song and then a little something extra at the very, very end of the credits when I was watching. And I was guessing that came kind of like improv when you were recording, but I'd love to know more about how those little moments came along, and if there was any other little magic that might have gotten cut that was from your improv during the recording.
I might need a little bit of clarity into that, what you mean exactly. I
Yeah,
thought you mean the photos, or what is the part you?
Oh no, there was actually a little song that popped up during the credits um fighting machines, I think, that I believe was Maya.
well, that's good news. I didn't know that was there either. So I think that the version that Abby and I saw didn't have that, because
Yeah, I don't think.
I haven't seen that yet.
And then there was like a little at the very, very end, a little stinger that I think was you, Abby, with a little quip, and I can't recall exactly what that was. So I'm sorry. I guess I'm surprising you guys.
No, you're.
I'm excited by this.
Yeah, maybe it was like we saw it a little while ago. Maybe that's. Yeah, oh, that's exciting.
I think Mike had time to tinker in this quarantine and might have added some little extra little Easter eggs.
Like, what is this?
I thought Abby might know, and I was like, God, Maya, do you really have that bad of a memory that you don't?
No, I was very nervous that you would know as well. Yeah.
My memory stops at the photos from when we were younger.
Same.
So I can't wait. Now I can't wait to watch it, because I think what I saw was not finished.
Yeah, there's a little, like I said, midway little song that pops up, and then at the very end, I think it's you, Abby. I hope it's you, since that's what I'm saying right now. A little quip that pops up at the very end.
Oh, cute.
Very cute.
Nice to meet you, ladies. Love the film. So cute, and love the message. And I have a teenage daughter who I seem to constantly embarrass no matter what I do. So could you ladies share with me, it could be a sibling or your children, tell me what's the most embarrassing thing you've ever done to your kid, on purpose or maybe not on purpose?
I apparently am very embarrassing. I thought that I was fun and spoke the same language as my kids, but I too have a teenage daughter, and I was, they were teaching me how to hit the whoa a while back, and apparently I don't do it correctly. So that was one of those mom moments. We were talking about tattoos the other day with a group of people, and I said, something about a tattoo and how embarrassing it was for my college roommate. She got this Amazoning rainforest frog on her back, and now she really regrets it. And my 15-year-old daughter looked at me and she said, "You really sound like a mom right now."
Like, thank you.
Like, yeah, because I am a mom.
Yeah.
Also, it's stupid to get a not important tattoo when you're 20. Don't do that, dummy.
Yeah.
But
Great.
anyway, yeah.
I don't have children, so not embarrassing them yet, but I'm sure I will.
What about a sibling, brother or sister?
I have a brother. You know what? I feel like I am wildly embarrassing. Actually, I have two nieces. What am I talking about? They're 5 and 7, and they're like, oh, they don't call me Aunt Abby. It's just Abby. They're like, Abby, God. Like even in work, yeah. I feel, I can't think of a specific thing, but especially the older one, 7 years old, I'm finding is like a teen.
Right.
She's very like, oh my God, what are you wearing? I'm like, oh, this is a good look, Stella,
Cute.
For Maya and Abby in the movie. Won't go into too much spoilers, but there is a scene where the family has to ward off more than just the robots that we had seen. Is there a household electronic item that you would either love to go toe to toe to with, or would you be afraid to you win?
I'm just realizing now, we have an Alexa in our house, and I feel like I don't know how that got voted in, but that thing is going to destroy me. Yeah, I need to take her down. She and I, we don't agree on a lot of things. She scares me a lot.
I think anything that responds is a little scary in that way. I don't have one. I feel often, I don't cook that much. I'm trying to get into cooking. I feel like truly most appliances I'm already going toe to toe with, just in their usual functioning. Like my oven and I are let's get this right. Like we often can't get on the same page already. Yeah, maybe I'm gonna say my oven. We have some issues.
For both of you, I just wanted to know, I love the scene when they all got the gift of the screwdriver. That's because that's like my husband. He gives gifts like that too. So I just was wondering the craziest, I guess, gift you got or the most disappointing.
Ooh, I don't want to sell anybody out, but I've gotten some pretty disappointing gifts. I think like even when I was younger, and I would always get gifts and think like, is this who you think I am? Like I remember getting like a vest once, and I was from my parents for Christmas. I was like, what? A vest? Like, have you met me? I've never worn a vest. I'll never. I don't even think I could wear. No, it's always fascinating when you see yourself through someone else's eyes. And I also give practical gifts too, so I'm sure that's probably really disappointing. I like stocking stuffers that you can use. Some people don't.
Yeah, I mean, I think as a kid, the most like practical functional thing that you like need is always kind of like pajamas. That kind of you need them, you want them to be cool, but I feel like I was always kind of like, great.
Yeah.
But my family, most of the gifts were art supplies, which was a little practical as well, but pretty well used and functional in a good way.
Well, I give my mom pajamas every year, and now I'm rethinking it. Oh, thank you.
I think as an adult, it's exciting.
Adult, it's good. But yeah,
Kids,
I stopped buying my kids clothes because they were like,
yeah.
and my gift, like, you're the lady that supplies my clothes. That's cool. Now,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Busy with Happy Miss Moments. We love the film, and my kids have already watched it about 4 times already. And I just hear them yelling and screaming and laughing. And when I finally watched it, I was teary. It gave me all these like emotions, like as a mom. And I'd love to know from both of you guys, how did you prepare yourself before a scene? Because you guys are kicking ass. You guys are loving each other. You got, there's just so much action, and then it's at the same time heartfelt. So I just picture you guys in your sound booth, like, what are you doing like to get those action scenes going?
We saved all my action scenes for the end of my recording day because there was a lot of yelling. So I think when you're doing that kind of like blood curdling yelling, you wait, because if you blow your throat out at the beginning of a 4-hour session, you're in trouble. So yeah, we would usually save Linda's like save the world battle cries for the very end. And we would really try to select a few because I think it can be really, really grating. And then those touching moments, I felt like what was so nice was they were written that way. And so it was very easy to access any sort of emotions necessary because they're right there on the page in front of you. All the scenes I did with Mike Rianda in the room. So I was able to talk to him about it. And I felt really lucky because he was very transparent from the beginning that Linda Mitchell is really sort of a love letter to his own mom and her wonderful, loving, unique personality and a very, very much large personality. So he was right there to tell me more or less. And then, I don't know. I think when you're talking to when a mom is talking to her kids, I think when that's there on the page, you kind of know where it's going. So it was very, very easy to access.
Yeah, I feel the same way. We saved all of my yells and falls and fight sequences for the end too, because I always lose my voice when I do those. And yeah, same for me. I mean, I think, I just tried to think about what that felt like going away from home for the first time, what it feels like when I still feel sort of like I don't belong or I'm insecure. And yeah, the great thing about, even in a live action thing, hopefully you have the space in which to play with you usually with your scene partner in a live action thing. This you're alone, but Mike was with me as well. And there's a little bit more room and space to play and to try it again and try it a different way. You know, there's not like 100 people on set waiting for you to like get through the scene. It's like, you know what, I want to like try it. Can I try it this way? And Mike is so collaborative and would read with me. And like, I felt it's great when you feel like, you know what, we're not moving on until he really gets what he wants and what he's been thinking of for the character. And same for me, like we don't move on until I was like, I think that felt right too. And so, especially in those emotional moments, yeah, it's a process.
I have 2 little girls and we had a blast watching it together. But my question is, there's a very subtle moment where Linda asks Katie, you know, did you become official with Jade yet? Like what's going on there? And so I want to know how it feels, Abby, but also Maya, like how important it is to put representation like that into a family entertainment.
Yeah, I mean, it's so important to me. I'm queer and I do my best to infuse it into the comedy or the content that I write. But you know, I didn't figure my sexuality out till I was really old. And so it's so exciting to see it in a huge animated movie like this, that's going to go to a really broad audience. I haven't seen, a movie that does it like this. And it does it in a way where it's not even a thing. As you said, her parents love and accept her and support her for who she is, especially in that way. And it's not like there is a fracture in the family, but it's not about that at all. And that's the kind of stuff that like those underlying, the way it's like almost like a Trojan horse in there where it's not a thing. It is a thing. It's so important for it to just be a reality for little kids to see that, but also really for parents to see that. So I'm so excited for that to be put out into the world.
I agree. I mean, I feel like it's so rare when something is thoughtfully written as one of the elements of what makes a character who they are, but it isn't the reason we're watching the movie. And I can relate to that so much. I feel like it's such a beautiful representation of humanity and people being all of the things that they are and still being wonderful and still having problems, and that our differences are not what the issues of the movie are about. Like that's really what people are. And I feel like it's usually the go-to in film to make sure that that's the problem, or, you know, if you're any sort of different in any shape or form or color, whatever that is, that's the crux of it, when in reality, like that's just not who you are as a human being. And so I just thought it was so beautifully done and lovingly done. And I love, you know, Linda's, you know, championing of her own daughter's creativity and how important that is to her and recognizing her for who she is. And I'm very proud that I just think it was done in such a beautiful way. And I hope that, like Abby said, that parents and children are seeing this, because I think more and more, you know, the stuff that my kids are watching, this is, everyone's stories are becoming their norm. And I love that we have the ability to live in a time where that's possible.
Yeah, me too. Thank you.
My question, Maya, I found Linda so relatable as a mom, and I think a lot of other moms will as well. How she was comparing herself to other families, like on Instagram, and then how Mrs. Posey at the end, I thought it came like full circle when she told her that she followed her on Instagram, and because she was authentic. I was like, yes, authenticity over perfection. I loved that. What do you hope that moms will take away from your character in the movie?
Well, it is always nice to see a character doing the things that you do that you can relate to. You know, we all look outside of our lives and compare ourselves, even when we don't realize we're doing it. At the same time, trying to honor who we are and trying to honor who our family is or who our people are. But I do hope that that message is clear, and also just this, you know, unwavering desire to make sure that people are valued for who they are it's not easy. It's a hard task, and I think there are more and more and more obstacles in the way as we go on. But I do think that the work that Linda does in the film does pay off, and I think does come around. I love, more so than her family, I love when she, you know, becomes a mother to the robots as well. You know, I think she's just got this big heart, and that's who she is, and she wears it on her sleeve. And what a sweet what a sweet little lady, you know, what big hearted lady she is. But yeah, just that we are all beautifully imperfect, and we all mess up and have a lot of the same, you know, goofs that everybody else does. And I love when you see something and it reminds you that you're not alone.